Does everybody get this big pile of junk in their mailbox every week? The post office won't deliver my actual mail to my house, but they deliver this stuff to me, and it drives me crazy. So I decided that I was going to use some of it to create a little junk journal. And I pulled this out. It's a Walmart ad, but a lot of different stores send out these lightweight, glossy, multiple page ad flyers. And I thought this would be the perfect size for me in terms of page size for glue booking or junk journaling. So I'm going to turn this flyer into a little junk journal. So the first thing I'm going to do is, while this is folded in half, is trim off this folded edge right here so that I have smaller individual pages. And to do that, I'm going to use an L square. This one's from the hardware store, but they sell them at craft stores too in the drafting supplies department. And it's great for squaring things up. Like, I'm just lining this up along the fold so that this top cut is completely straight. And that's the end of that. I want to create a journal that's 10 pages. So I'm going to end up gluing 2 of these back to back to give them a little more stability. So I want 10 sheets, and that way when the journal is folded closed, it will have 10 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I'm going to do some gluing and some brayering. So what I want to do is just glue these together 2 at a time. And I generally glue by going around the outside and then swiping across. And this doesn't have to be perfect, and it's going to have a bunch of wrinkles in it, and I don't care. So that's my first set of pages. And I'm just going to keep doing that back to back until all my pages are glued together. So I thought I was going to end up with a 10-page journal by using 10 sheets. And I would if I was counting the front and the back, but I want to do 10 double-page spreads. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can either do a 9-page journal or go ahead and add in these last 2, and I think I will end up with 11 that way. So now I have my 11 pages, 11 double-page spreads ready to go, and I need to join them together. There are a lot of ways to do this. You can staple them together. Probably for this size you would need a long reach stapler, but if you wanted to do a smaller journal, like this size, folded in half and trimmed off here, you could probably get to that with a regular stapler. You can run a bead of glue along the fold right here and glue each page to the last one, just like this, and end up with a glued book, which if you're going to do, like generally what I do is lay pieces across the fold when I'm building up backgrounds, and that helps with the stability and it helps it from falling apart. So even a glued junk journal will have enough stability to hold together. Or you can stitch this together, which is, I think, the method that I'm going to use today. So now I've got my folded pages set up to punch some holes along the fold. And this is my cheap and cheerful setup. It's a couple of chip clips from the kitchen, clamping the pages together to hold them steady while I punch holes, and a piece of cardboard underneath. And that's important because you want something with a little cush underneath while you're punching holes. And I've already marked this using a ruler, and I'm punching holes every inch. I'm doing this with an awl, but if you don't have one, a needle will work just fine. And you just want to flip it over and make sure the holes went all the way through. And I'm punching holes before I stitch, rather than just stitching with the needle and poking holes with the needle, to make this easier and more consistent as I stitch. Easier because punching holes while you go means that you're handling the pages and they can shift a little bit and you end up with pages that are out of alignment. And easier because now I just have a line of holes that I can go in and out of very easily with my needle. Now I have a needle threaded with some waxed linen, which is used for bookbinding, and it really is waxed linen thread. If you don't have this, an easy way to make something at home that will work well is to get like a string, like kite string, and run it through some beeswax, or you can use regular thread, cotton thread, if you can do it rather than polyester, because polyester is really hard on paper.